So, this is for you, Daniel. The entree.
I'm hoping the entree box has got salmon, chicken, or any game bird.
Eggs. And lots of eggs. Duck egg, quail egg, hen eggs. You've also got some salmon caviar. Heston, is there something Daniel should be thinking about right now?
A bit of advice, I would just say, keep it simple.
This is a dish that I've just seen in books and stuff, like elements and whatnot, but it's kind of like a breakfast in a way, and it was the first thing popped in my head. And 62-degree egg is the hero of the dish. Like, he's got the egg right there. It's going to have garlic croutons, Parmesan wafer with a mushroom custard, and then salmon roe emulsion. The sous vide would take a while to get up to temperature. I've got to cook the egg as well, which will take at least 45 to 55 minutes. It's imperative I get this on ASAP, otherwise the egg will not be set in time.
A 62-degree egg is a whole egg placed in a water bath at 62 degrees. Boiling an egg normally, water boils at 100 degrees, so you'll get a lot softer consistency in the 62-degree egg. It can be a tricky technique.
Using a number of different techniques today, so hopefully it shines. It's imperative I get the techniques right today, because it's not every day we get to be in the same room as Heston, let alone cook up against him. Right now I'm just making my mushroom custard, which is going to be the base, or hopefully the reveal element of the dish. The idea of a mushroom custard is similar to a concept of a sweet custard, except you're imparting mushroom flavours into a cream base, which is then partially set. My sous vide is at temperature now, and it's time to put my eggs into the actual machine itself. I'm going to cook these eggs for about 45 to 55 minutes. I've got to essentially have that done. If the egg isn't cooked the way I want it to be, there's no point having the dish. So, a bit stressful. The base of my dish is a mushroom custard, and as it's cooling, I'm whisking up 4 eggs, which is then going to be the setting agent for the custard. It's important that the setting agent is in similar temperature to the actual sauce, otherwise the temperature will allow the thing to split.
Daniel might be struggling.
I get my mushroom sauce, but it's not cool. I'm definitely worried that I'm falling behind. If I screw it up, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Daniel's, from what I can see, he's really stressed down there. The pressure's getting to him.
Can you just slow down? You're making one dish. Focus. Yeah, think about what you need.
Let's go, Daniel, mate. Come on, clear your head. You're getting flustered.
I pour my custard mix into the jars, and then they go into the oven at 120 degrees.
Daniel's finally back on track. I think he's going to get a great dish up.
I'm making a roe emulsion. So I've got the roe in there, which is, essentially it's eggs themselves. Almost like a mayonnaise to finish it off for the breakfast.
How are the eggs going?
Finding out right now. It's time to check my 62-degree egg. It's got to be the hero of the dish. And if it's split, if it's broken, it's pretty much ruined my dish.
Yeah, perfect.
I've cracked it, and it's the way I want it to be, so I'm very, very relieved. Oh, that's hot. I don't know if the custard's set enough. I've never done it before, but hopefully. Seeing it wobble slightly, maybe jiggle a little bit too much, I'm concerned it isn't set. I add my sprinkle of texture elements in my garlic croutons and my Parmesan wafers. And then to go with that, the salmon roe emulsion. The next part is adding my 62-degree egg into this jar, and it's looking great. Now it's time to do something I've never done before. So I grab a blowtorch and a smoking gun. Here's to you, Heston. I'm gonna smoke the jar. I've got no idea how it's gonna turn out. I don't even know if I'm using it right. I wanted to prove myself today, and here's a perfect opportunity. Fingers crossed.
For your entree, we have 62-degree egg and hay-smoked mackerel.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Should we taste the one in the jar first?
Yeah. Oh, nice. The flavour of the smoke, the little salty, fishy pop of the salmon roe, that beautifully cooked egg.
I think it's a great dish. I think it's quite textural. I think the gooey egg, the crunchy crumbs, it's like eggs on toast but reworked.
Great first dish, really impressive.
Today I'm going to do a roast lamb rack with a chicken and mushroom jus. Lamb and chicken, it's a weird combination of flavours, but I know that it works. I've done it before and I absolutely love it. The stock is the backbone of a jus. So the first thing I need to do is break down the chicken to make this jus. I begin by just removing both breasts, the back legs, hacking up that carcass into small pieces and then into a roasting tray over a high heat and just let it caramelise.
I'm quite excited to see what you cook. You've got some really lovely ingredients there. So what's the plan?
So I'm going to do a roast lamb rack with a pickled carrots in the juice those grapes with a mushroom and chicken jus.
OK. And so the only place that the grapes are in is in the carrots.
And it is a great challenge, eh?
I'd forgotten the brief. I don't want to have to start again, but I want that ticket straight through to finals. So I need to fix this. I can create a great identity for the sauce, so as soon as they taste it, bang, they know it's grapes. I've decided to drop the mushrooms from the jus and replace that with some red wine, and then I boost out with some of the dried fruits that we have available. Yeah, I think that's going to work. We've got to put up the best dish of the competition to get through to finals week, so I'm willing to throw down everything I've got and see if we can come up with the goods. I've got my celeriac puree on the go. It's nice and buttery, and my sauce is bubbling away. I'm really happy with it. It's super rich, super intense, and it's got the grapes through it. I love it. So now I can finally move on to Frenching my lamb rack. To prepare the rack of lamb, I need to begin by removing the second half of the cap. I'm going to take 2 of the bones out and then French the others. I'm feeling under the pump because that's a pretty time-consuming job. There's really not that much longer to go in the cook now, and I've only just finished Frenching my lamb rack, so I need to get it in the oven. I feel like I might be able to get it to the point that I wanted, but this one is going to come down to the wire. Now that the lamb's all sorted, I can start moving on to my pickling liquid. I begin by getting the 2 bunches of grapes, running them through the juicer, and then I'll put that on the stove, bring it to a boil, add Verjus, champagne vinegar and sugar. I'm using the natural sweetness of those grapes to create that element in the pickle. I feel like I'm really hitting the brief now. And it tastes beautiful, but it all comes down to the lamb rack. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like I'm definitely in with a shot. I'm happy with where I'm at. The carrots are pickling, my whitloaf is in the pan braising, and it's looking good. If the sauce ticks the boxes in terms of meeting the brief, I'm really happy with it. So I guess now all that's left is to cook that lamb perfectly. I take my lamb out of the oven to see how it's travelling, and it's pretty soft. It feels like it's nowhere near being cooked. I put it in the oven too late. I need to fix this. I need to get it in the oven. If I don't get a flawless piece of lamb on that plate today, there's absolutely no way that I'm going through the finals straight away. I'm walking my plate into the judges, and I'm really happy with everything that I got on there today. I'm a little bit suspect on the lamb. The last thing I want to do is serve undercooked lamb. I just hope I got it right.
Tell us what the dish is.
It's a roasted lamb rack with whitloaf, celeriac puree, and a red wine and muscatel jus.
How good does that look? That looks fantastic.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, detailing the vegetables, that little charriness of the whitloaf.
Yeah.
You know, it's
fresh grapes.
Fresh grapes.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that right at the end he was having some issues with the lamb, yeah? I mean, with a minute to go.
He took it down to the wire, didn't he?
Let's see. If it's cooked, Shall we?
Do it.
That's cooked perfectly.
That is spot on, isn't it? What I love about the dish, the lamb, the char on the whitloaf, the way that balances, its bitterness balances that really delicious, thick, rich, sweet gravy, and that butter puree, which has been cannily held together with a little bit of celeriac. That combination is so delicious.
You know, the lamb is cooked perfectly, the whitloaf is outstanding, the sauce is just, there's a lot of work in that sauce that says, this guy knows how to cook.
This challenge was all about grapes, and that sauce, he has gone to town with grapes.
Yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Yeah. Great food.
Every week I tell myself, you've got to do better. Stop being second best and show them that you can fight with the big boys in this competition. And every week I'm just miss out. So today I want to be at the top of the pack. Hello. So this is cauliflower 3 ways. I'm doing it cut down the middle and roasted, raw because I want it to be kind of resemble couscous, and braised. I'm pairing that with an apricot and an almond puree. And I've got some lamb that has sumac, cumin, coriander, cinnamon.
Right.
You want that power apron?
Yeah, I want it.
You don't even have to ask her, do you?
Well, it's not even about one. I think it's not even about the power apron. It's about stamping your authority back into the competition that you are the one to beat.
Yeah, well, like, there's no one more competitive than Sarah.
It's like that. George and Gary are like egging me on. It's like coaches before an Olympic run or something. You're just like, yeah, I want this apron, come on. It's a spice rubbed lamb loin with cauliflower 3 ways, charred as a couscous and braised in cinnamon and other aromatics.
What I love about it, love the flavour. You've jammed tons of flavour in there.
Everything goes together. You know, it's like a big orchestra. That combination of the almond, the tahini, and the apricot, great. And the way you treated that cauliflower, you get 3 very different textures and very different flavours.
Thanks, guys.
I walked in today expecting there to be, you know, circuses set up and tents and all this amazing equipment, but Heston wants to see a bit of us and a bit of Australia, so that's what I'm going to show him, just in a bit of a modern way.
Growing up, we didn't have a great deal of money, so once every fortnight or so, we'd have a roast dinner on the Sunday night. So that's a great memory for me, and it pays a lot of respect to my mum because she tried really hard. So I'm going to use the native ingredients. I'm going to use a little lamb fillet and some raw pumpkin. Raw pumpkin.
It's the freshness, it's crunch, and it's got flavour from the fat.
I watched Jock do it. That looked really tasty. I hope Heston thinks the same.
Next up, Brent.
I've used a family memory, and I'm actually really excited to let Heston taste it. My only concern is that raw pumpkin, and I just hope that it's nice.
So it's a lamb fillet, roast carrot, raw pumpkin, and a mustard cream, native greens.
It's like all the ingredients seem to do this. It's a very delicate dish, but it also feels like it's wrapped in a warm blanket.
The lamb is nice and moist, the pumpkin's yum.
The texture's perfect.
It's perfect. It's wonderful.
That's a great dish.
Thank you.
Just reiterating the 3 criteria. Creativity, it's there. Local, native produce, it's there. The third thing, you think, OK, how does this bring family together? It's warm, it's comforting, you feel like you still had this sort of family roast. And finally, has it inspired me? Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Well done, Brett.
To have a cook like that for Heston it's perfect. I mean, I impressed Heston. This is the best cook I've had in the whole competition, and what a day to do it.
I'm going to make twice cooked lamb with a lamb jus, macadamia nut, onion, garlic puree, pickled beets, and some vegetables. I let myself down in that last cook. I let myself get completely overwhelmed by the pressure, and I kind of refusing to do that this second round. I know what Matt is capable of with savoury dishes. Anything less than my best is only going to widen his lead. It's all or nothing. Now that I've braised my lamb, I need to start building the stock in the pressure cooker. I want to be building these beautiful flavours from the get-go. My entree didn't have the intensity of flavour that I really love about cooking, the cooking that sort of warms you from the inside. And that's what I need to bring to this main course. My lamb is going to take at least an hour in the pressure cooker, and then I've still got to glaze it at the end. I'm pushing it, but I have to utilise every second of the cook if I'm going to close the gap with Matt. With my sauce reducing, it's time to get my pickled veggies on the go. I'm going to use a raspberry vinegar in the hot pickle for the beets and in the cold pickle for the onion. Raspberry vinegar can be too strong, but today I think it's perfect to cut through the richness of the lamb. Lovely.
It's really smart. It's probably something I wouldn't think of.
If I want to have any chance of making up those 3 points, I need to be thinking about the flavours in every element that's going on this main course dish. I need a creamy element on this plate, so I'm making a macadamia nut onion garlic puree. Most purees are smooth and velvety, but I want a slightly granular consistency. That texture is going to come from the macadamias to add another layer to this main.
Great ideas, Ellie.
I have to think about the eating experience as well as the flavours that are going into this dish.
Well done, guys.
How they're cooking at the moment is really beautiful to watch.
It's time to take the lamb out of the pressure cooker.
Oh, that smells so good, Ellie. Nice lamb, Alina.
It's falling apart.
Job, Ellie. Well done.
It's soft, it's tender, and it's taken on all of the flavour that I had hoped in that pressure cooker. But there's less than 5 minutes to go, and I still have to glaze the lamb in the pan.
Keep pushing.
You got it, Ellie.
I was going to use sugar to help caramelise the lamb, but it's not going to work fast enough. I need a plan B. I can't let one element let me down like in round 1. I just have to fix it.
Run, Alina, run.
I know what this lamb needs. Molasses.
Come on, Alina.
I get it on that lamb to caramelise and create this textural, barky, crunchy crust.
Oh, molasses, yum.
I've got to start building this main so that as soon as the lamb is ready, I can rip it off there, put it on the plate as beautifully and delicately as possible.
Make it beautiful.
I have to treat this plate like I'm building a piece of art.
Done such a good job, Ellie. Bring it home.
You got 1 minute!
Time is running out and it's go time for that barra. I grab it off the pan, have a look, and...
Is the fish perfect?
Crispy skin, golden caramelisation around the edge, spot on.
Matty, that looks beautiful, mate. What about your meat? Get your lamb out, Alina.
My molasses has done its job perfectly. It's nice and shiny and rich.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alina, that's it. Well done.
I stuck true to myself and I felt like myself, and whatever happens now, I'm really happy.
Alina, what's the dish?
Twice cooked lamb with a lamb jus, macadamia nut onion garlic puree, pickled beets and some vegetables.
It's a pretty dish, isn't it?
Looks like a little plate of jewels. Lovely. I'm running out of words to express something that blows my mind. It sends shivers down my spine. It's delicious. It's those little clever additions of the vinegar that's used to pickle. She used the raspberry vinegar.
Yeah.
Smart, you know, and that's Alina, you know, rather than what everyone would go for, brown vinegar, malt vinegar, white vinegar. And then this sauce, oh my gosh, does she know how to make sauce? This could sit in any good Michelin star restaurant and be happy.
100%. She's absolutely delivered a beautiful dish.
This is the Alina that got here. It's in the grand final. It's the one that we were expecting to see in the entree round. I think that's an absolutely smashing plate of food, and gee, I love this restaurant. Can we come again?
Yeah, absolutely.
As soon as I hear George say he wants something that's seductive and he wants something that's a guilty pleasure, the first thing that came to mind was the forbidden apple, something that's like to tempt you.
Adam and Eve, forbidden fruit, it just makes sense. The idea I have in my head is an apple. It's got to be something that's going to be wow to the judges, so I was like, I got to go all out.
Reynolds, you dream of being a high-end pastry chef, don't you?
Yeah.
Why aren't you confident? I would have thought you'd be going, yes, this is the challenge.
I'm it's going to be chocolate, but I'm really gambling on this.
Yeah, so now what are you going to make?
I just want to try and recreate something that's like a forbidden fruit in a way. Try to make something like an apple, which is quite...
OK.
Yeah.
So you're going to use a mould that's going to be frozen and this stuff in the middle, is that the idea?
Yeah, I've got hemisphere moulds just freezing at the moment.
Yep.
I'm just going to dip that into ganache and then into the red cocoa butter.
Yeah. I love it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like watching someone working a pressure test with the recipe set by top chefs. So if you do pull it off, be massive kudos to you. Massive.
It's ridiculous, 90 minutes to think of this dish. It's got a lot of elements, it's got a lot of techniques that I need to keep right. I feel really scared that it's gonna fall apart or gonna break. It's a make or break dish. Today, I've decided to make a difficult dish. It's going to represent the forbidden fruit. It's a frozen mousse coated with ganache and cocoa butter.
Yeah, I'm freaking out because I've got so many elements. I'm really pushing this to the limit.
I'm really worried about the coating of the apple because that's what's going to make it look like the apple. I want it to be smooth.
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get everything together. Yeah, I'm just a bit stressed.
Are we disturbing you at the moment?
Yeah, sorry.
All right, I'm just going to watch. Go on, keep going.
It's got edges, it's got bumps, and it's just not coating evenly.
I think that one's just gone.
You just got to stop, take a deep breath.
Take away the hurry because you're going to stuff it up.
Yeah.
And your dessert relies on that visual representation, doesn't it?
Come on, Reynolds.
Thanks, guys.
Don't stuff it up, mate. Come on.
I'm pretty scared at the moment. In my mind, this dish looks absolutely amazing. I'm just trying to execute that well. I can't screw this up now.
Right, this is it. 2 minutes to go. Hurry up, come on.
It's time for the final coating, which is the red cocoa butter coating. I'm really happy. It looks like an apple, and I can't believe I've done it.
Good, isn't it? Looks really good.
Reynolds, what's the dish?
I call it the forbidden fruit. It's a chocolate mousse inside with a raspberry coulis, coated with ganache and cocoa butter. And I've played it up around with some raspberries and strawberries on a chocolate soil and a raspberry sorbet.
It looks spectacular. Like, honestly, mate, that looks wonderful.
Yeah.
You done it before?
No. No, I was hoping to make it look more like an apple. I tried my best. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it, though.
quite.
Smash it open, because I can't wait.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that is ridiculously good.
Start of week 2. Not finals week next week, the beginning of week 2, and you're putting up food like this. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Everything is right about it. The intensity of the raspberry sorbet, the smoothness, the slightness of the mousse, the chocolatey richness, the cocoa butter coating, the right amount of crumb for the dish, the way it looks.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah,
wow, wow.
Absolutely. Perfect dish, perfect. Perfect. I'm absolutely gobsmacked, mate.
Thank
I
you.
really am.
Wow, Reynolds. Top 5 this morning. Let's not kid ourselves. It's top 3 dish, man.
Thank you.
And it deserves one of these. It deserves one of these. Come here. Respect. Yeah? Respect.
Verjus in egg.
It looks like a little egg.
Come on, come forward.
Knowing Heston, an egg is never an egg. There is a world of pain about to hatch out of that thing.
This dish was inspired from a recipe book in 1726, I think it was, by a guy called Patrick Lamb. And that's the Georgian period, which was the last great period of British gastronomy, before now, of course. And it was called Eggs in Verjus. And the recipe was really quite simple. It just said, you take some eggs and then finish with verjus. So what we decided to do was just flip it on its head. Instead of putting the eggs in verjus, we put the verjus in the egg.
Well, and the addition of 91 steps.
Yeah, the
Yes.
small matter.
Yeah, the small matter.
We have the pastry nest with some candied orange zest, little thyme, and then on top of that we have some sugar work to complete the nest, and then we have the egg.
Then we have the egg. Well, the egg is chocolate casing, and inside, well, I'll show you what's inside.
Oh, my God.
Now, that's a coconut panna cotta. You can see it's nice and delicate. And then there's a fluid gel. That is a mixture of mandarin and thyme. Thymol is the molecule that gives thyme its flavour. And there's a thymol, there's quite a lot of it in mandarin. And the combination is fantastic. It looks just like an egg yolk.
This is beyond a plate of food. This is a science. This is an art.
So if you could crack through, it's not quite finished yet. Underneath is a coffee parfait.
You know, it goes on and on and on. It's a masterpiece.
All right, here's another one for tasting, so you get one each.
Give it a crack.
Tasting all of the elements completely messes with your head. You're seeing an egg, but you're tasting sweet, sour, salty, bitter notes, all perfectly balanced in this incredible dessert.
To make the Verjus egg yolk, I begin by combining some mandarin reduction, citrus reduction, triple sec, and Verjus. Take 500 grams out of that mixture, and I pour it into a mixer. I combine that with malic acid. Need to bring that up to 85 degrees. Once the mixture reaches temperature, I can then add gelling, which is a setting agent, and I blitz it up a little bit more. Transfer that into an ice bath, and then let it it's set.
Looks good, man.
Well, it's still very liquid at this. Oh, actually, she's starting to set already.
I need to make a move with the fluid gel. She's certainly set. Now I just need to transfer it into the mixer, and I blitz it at 30-second intervals until it's silky smooth and to make sure that there's no grain left in it.
Looks good, Matty.
Yeah, it's super smooth.
Once the Verjus egg yolk has been blitzed into a fluid gel, and then take it over to this vacuum machine. Shut it, basically it looks like it's injecting all of this air in. It starts to mushroom up and head towards the top of the bowl, and then out of nowhere it just does a complete flip 180 and bang, and just sinks and sucks everything out of it. What just happened? And what you're left with is this paste on the bottom of it. I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
Looks good, Matt.
Really hoping this half batch of egg yolk gel has set firm. I check on the consistency.
Oh, nice, Elena.
It's definitely set, so I blitz that until it's as smooth as possible.
Come on, Elena, you got this. Come on, Elena.
The next element I need to move on with is the coconut panna cotta, and that essentially is going to be the egg white. The panna cotta is like a soft-boiled egg. It's got that slightly gelatinous texture to it, but still firm enough for me to pipe the egg yolk into. To make the panna cotta, I need to combine yogurt, coconut milk, and coconut cream, and blitz that with a hand blitzer for 30 seconds to combine it.
Getting the consistency of this panna cotta right is crucial. It makes up the whole body of the egg, so if I don't get it right, it could literally fall apart. To make sure that the panna cotta sets properly, I need to bloom some gelatin powder until it's a thick, slushy consistency before combining it with the other ingredients. While the gelatin's blooming, I need to get the milk, coconut cream, and caster sugar up to 60 degrees. I can then add the bloomed gelatin.
Good job, Elena.
Add that with the rest to the coconut mixture and start to pour it into the moulds. Need to put that into the fridge and get moving on to the other elements.
There's a lot of detail in these recipes, and it's hidden details. You've really got to read it word for word, which is probably the scariest thing about it.
To make the panna cotta, once the mixture reaches temperature, I can then add the gelatin and stir that until it's combined.
Look at the difference. I'm a little worried about Matt's bloom gelatin mixture. It's nowhere near as thick as Elena's was when she put hers into the panna cotta. Good work, though. Could be absolutely fine. I just hope it still sets all right.
I'm working on the honeycomb that forms eventually the nest on the plate. I need to start constructing the gold, spun sugar, and the kataffi pastry nest to support this egg. The first thing I need to do is make some honeycomb. Then I need to allow that to set before I put it under the heat lamps to start pulling.
Oh, looks stunning, Ellie. How crazy is that?
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
The next element is the kataifi pastry nest. I need to combine clarified butter mixture with the kataifi pastry. Then I need to shape them into beautiful, even round circles, pop them in the oven until they're golden brown.
Up, Ellie.
Right, listen up, you two. 2 hours to go. Come on, let's get a hustle on.
With 2 hours to go, I need to check on my panna cottas, make sure they're set. They need to be reasonably firm before I squeeze in that egg yolk. I'm so excited. My panna cottas have set. I start to very carefully remove panna cotta from the center. So I've got enough space there to fill it with the egg yolk.
Oh, it looks amazing, Elena. Good job.
With an hour to go, I need to temper my chocolate to create the shell for this egg. This is tough. The tempered chocolate eggshell is the key visual, theatrical component of this dish. It holds everything together, and the appeal of this egg is that beautifully fine, sharp shell. When Heston cracked it, it just kind of fell and broke apart. Like a normal eggshell, to achieve the perfect crack, the temper of this chocolate has to be perfect. This is the egg mould, and I have to get the first lot of speckles to create the eggshell look. Then I need to work on 2 tempered chocolates. The inside of the shell is white and the outside is milk. And that's gonna be sealed together around the panna cotta and the egg yolk and the parfait to create that egg. The first thing I need to do is work on the milk chocolate egg layer. I need to combine the colouring with the milk chocolate. The colour's quite amazing. I just have to mix this together and then I'm gonna temper it on the marble stone. I haven't ever tempered chocolate on marble before. I know that this is the most technical way to do it, but it's not something that I'm familiar with. I don't do a lot of tempering. It kind of freaks me out a little bit.
You got it?
Do I need to bring 3/4 of it down to 27 on the marble?
Yes, you do.
And I measure it on the board?
On the board.
Okay.
And then what are you going to do next?
And then very slowly bring it back up to 32.
Great. You got it. Come on. Just do it now, yeah?
All right.
You're all good, Ellie.
Oh my God, this is terrifying.
That's a hard temper.
I'm just freaking out now.
When you're lowering and increasing temperatures, you can't vary a degree. 1 degree below 27 or 1 degree above 32, and it's not going to temper properly, and you won't have that perfect crack.
Good work, Ellie.
27.3, 27.2. My milk chocolate has hit exactly 27 degrees.
Beautiful. Good work, Ellie.
So I can incorporate that with the rest of the mixture, bring that up to precisely 32 degrees to ensure I get that perfect crack. Pour it into the container that attaches to the spray gun and take it over to the spraying station. The spray gun is so noisy and kind of fierce. I'm a little bit nervous. I just want to get it right. I need to take a lot of care, spraying just the right amount. They can't be too thick because there's another layer of white chocolate to go in there.
Clean them off really well, Alina.
Scrape off all of the excess. I need to leave that to set and hurry back to temper my white chocolate. As soon as my white chocolate is in temper, I actually have to fill the molds entirely and then tip out the excess. Before I pour it into the molds, I notice there's some dry clumps in the milk chocolate layer. Oh, God. It's not as even as it should be, but there's no time to start this whole process over. I just hope that it doesn't affect the final eggshell too much.
Good job, Alina.
While I leave my eggshells to set, I can start constructing the nest that the egg will sit on. It's absolutely very delicate, and I'm going to have to be very careful.
Beautiful, Alina.
I have to get these eggshells out of the mold, and I have to get them filled. I then need to seal it.
Jen.
I'm pretty excited about my tempered chocolate. They are shiny and they look like eggshells. They look incredible. What a buzz. I can put the panna cotta in.
Careful.
Gentle.
Yes, Ellie! And then there's a little gap at the bottom for me to put that coffee parfait under that panna cotta. I need to seal them so that they hold on the plate. Just melt the edge ever so slightly. Close it together. Very, very carefully find a little bit extra of that milk chocolate mix to create a seamless, delicate egg. Without that final seal, you risk the egg splitting open. The egg isn't constructed beautifully. The rest of the elements almost don't matter. This is the hero of this dish. So the final step for the egg is to pour a tiny amount of liquid nitrogen over the top of the egg. Essentially, you're freezing the egg in time.
The next 3 minutes are going to make all the difference. Come on, you two.
I've just managed to put this nest together. Now I need to finally start assembling this egg. The pressure of this cook is bearing down on me. Time is practically up, and I've got the most finicky process to go in sealing this egg. I've got hot hands, the most fragile of all chocolates, 1 millimetre thin. And I've got to try to glue that together without breaking it, without melting it. Oh, man. And I've got about 1.5 minutes to go. I melt the edge of the chocolate and I gently put it together, and it looks like it's just holding.
That's it, mate.
Just stay there. Just stay there, please.
Your last minute in the MasterChef kitchen!
There's a couple of steps in here that's telling me to seal this egg with the excess chocolate.
Got it, mate, come on!
I don't have time to do that. I need to finish this thing off and get it on the plate, otherwise it's not going to be there. What? I need to take it over to the liquid nitrogen right now. What's he doing?
I think it's just not going to do it.
Oh my God, Matt just totally skipped the final sealing step. And he better pray to God that that thing holds together.
For the last time, 30 seconds!
All of my elements are done. I know I still have to plate up the egg, but I see Matt running over to the liquid nitrogen station.
What do I do?
He looks a little bit lost as to what he's supposed to do next. I'm just going to help him. Yeah, put it on there so it doesn't ruin the rest of your stuff. Glove on, and just a tiny spoon of this over the top. Yep.
Oh, Lena, she's helping him.
Yep, just over the top. Yep. That's it. That's it.
Can't believe it. I've got every element up. This is going to come together. This is going to happen.
This is it!